So you all must have seen that whenever an volcano is erupted, whenever it erupts, the lava which is there, it comes out. There is a lot of smoke which is generated, a lot of pollution is generated, and the substances which comes out, these are also very hot. And the solid, liquid, and gaseous substances which are there below the Earth's crust, as they are pushed towards the crust, so there is a lot of force which is generated, and in that force that eruption takes place. And when these substances comes out from the Earth's crust, that is in an eruption, you will also see that whatever places are there around it, forever, for example, any human settlement is there, or any water body is there near the volcano, all of these things are destroyed. So in many places where people stay near a volcano, they are always in an threat that whenever the volcano will erupt, their life is in danger. So the disaster management, they try to build things so that the people can be safe. They try to build underground houses, so that if by chance any volcano erupts, so people can go and hide inside. So these all things are done by the disaster management. Also, if the volcano erupts and the all the area is destroyed, then to rehabilitate them, all of this is done by the disaster management team. So what can be the major effects of the volcano? So the chemical substances such as lava, vapor, hot mud is there, sulfur is there. All of this gets collected on the surface of the earth, and thereby you can see a heap of mountain is created, and hills are also created because of the chemical substances, the lava and the vapor or the hot mud. Then the atmosphere which is there, it gets polluted. Why it gets polluted? Because a lot of ash is generated, and even many gases are ejected by the volcano, and because of which all the surrounding area, the air which is there around it, it will get polluted. Soot particles will be there. All the area will be covered with a black color particles, the which we call as the soot particle, and the ash which is there, everything will be there in the air. Then usually it rains as a result of volcanic eruption. So again, people have to protect themselves from the rains as well. Then the temperature rises due to the hot gases. So the area which is there around a volcano, so there the temperature will extend, it will rise, and it may even destroy the habitat which is there nearby. The forest and the settlements which is there, they all get buried under the hot mud. So even human life or animal life, they all get buried under the hot mud. They all die, they all get burned because of the hot lava. Now volcanoes can erupt in the sea, they can also erupt on the land. Same amount of substances are released during the eruption of a volcano, and most of the time a new island is formed when a volcano erupts in the sea. Now it is not possible to stop the eruption of the volcano, but yes, we can predict that when the volcano will erupt. There are many methods. Because of the advancement in science and technology, it is possible to predict the eruption of the volcano. And if we know that in what time the volcano will erupt, or when the volcano will erupt, we can take the immediate steps. We can prevent the loss of life. For example, a volcano will erupt on the land where the people live, so the people can be rehabilitated, they can be moved from that place, so that at least the life can be saved. If they have their livings, they have their cattle, they have their money, all of this can be protected. So such things, if we know when the eruption will take place, if we can predict the eruptions, then such measures can be taken place, and immediate steps for disaster management can take place. Next natural disaster is tsunami. Now you all must have heard about earthquakes. Earthquakes takes place on land, but when an earthquake occurs at the bottom of an ocean, so it is called as a tsunami. So now what happens in a tsunami? We all know that whenever earthquake take place, the tectonic plates which are there under the earth, those plates, they move, and because of which there are tremors which can be felt by us. Sometimes even the land cracks because of those tremors. So, if an earthquake occurs at the bottom of ocean, the energy is released, and the released energy, it pushes the water in the upward direction. And as the water is pushed in the upward direction, the wave is formed, and the waves are too big. It is not a normal wave which we see, but the waves are too huge, and this is a peculiar type of wave which are formed, and they, because of those waves, the entire area or the entire region which is near to the ocean all get submerged in water. So the waves which are generated, their speed is very high. At the start, they start to spread at a very high velocity, and the waves start to spread at a velocity of around 800 to 900 kilometers per hour. So you can imagine what can be the velocity of those waves. And when they reach to the coastal areas, their velocity is reduced, but when they reach to the coastal area, the height is increased, and the height increases to around 30 meters. And when these waves, they gets flushed into the human settlement area, so these waves, when they are going behind, when the water is going back in the ocean, so along with it, it carries humans, the all the human settlement area is destroyed. Whatever comes in its contact, everything goes into the ocean, and entire area is destroyed sometimes. So many people die because of tsunami. So tsunamis are very dangerous, they are very devastating, they cause a lot of damage if it occurs near the human settlement area. Now, tsunami is a Japanese word, and the meaning of tsunami is harbor. Now, what can be the effects of tsunami? So, the buildings, the construction, everything is destroyed. Then, loss of life takes place. Financial loss takes place. The boats which are there, coastal areas which are there, everything is damaged. Landslide can take place. Trees gets uprooted. There is changes which takes place in the original land. Then traffic which is there, the obstruction arise because of that. Large scale damage is caused to many people, to all the settlement area. Now, there is nothing that we can do to avoid tsunami, but if we come to know that in a particular place the tsunami can occur, so that place can be emptied, the loss of life and financial loss can be reduced, because with the satellites and all, we come to know that where the earthquake will take place. So, with that information, we can come to know that this in this area tsunami can occur, so that area can be emptied. All of this is done by the disaster management. Next type of natural disaster is storms. Now, storms is nothing but the wind that takes place, the wind, the atmosphere wind which is there. There is different pressures which are created, and you can see a round structure is formed in that wind. So that is called as a storm. So when strong winds which blow due to the formation of high and low pressure belts in the atmosphere, these results in winds and storm which even cause loss of life, damage property, and even damage many grounds, and if any crops is grown, agricultural areas, all of this is destroyed because of storm. So wherever the storm takes place, a lot of damage is done to the human life, to the animal life, to the settlement, human settlement. A lot of damage takes place. So what can we do as a remedial measures if any place is suffered from storm? So first of all, people can be shifted to a safer place if we have the knowledge that here the storm will takes place, because with the science and technology we can study about the different air pressures that will be generated and that might lead to a storm generation. So if we have that information, we can shift the people to a safer place so that their life can be prevented. Also, we can supply food, we can supply water, we can supply medicine to the people. Another thing is that in the storm, people panic, Then we can try to maintain peace and advise people not to panic, because panicking can lead to more damage. And news information should be given time to time on TVs and radios, so that people are aware that in such place the things can happen. Even it's our responsibility to watch news and keep an update on the environment, what things are going on, so that we can prevent ourselves from getting any harm. Now, what can we do on our level to prevent any harm because of any disaster? So, we can keep a proper first aid kit handy. Then, we can keep all the electronic connections which are there in the proper conditions. We can keep gas lines or tube connections proper. Also, we can keep powered flashlights or self-powered radios, so that even if electricity is not there, at least you can have the news, you can hear the news what is going on or on around us. Then we can even keep non-perishable food which will last for a week or for a longer period of time. Also, very important thing is to keep fire extinguishers handy, so if any mishap takes place, the fire catches very easily. So fire extinguishers should be kept handy. In these ways we can prevent much damage on we can prevent the damage which can occur to us. We can even reduce the damage which can occur to us. We can even be ready for any type of disaster that can take place.